And let's cut back on this one. And cut over, and we'll get into that a little bit more as we go along. Now we're going to kind of cut up in here underneath that piece, and then we're going to come to the middle of the shoes here, and we're going to have to separate those. So that is one of our tasks that we have to do. Now the problem with going on the corner is the fact that it's not square, it's sort of a 90-degree, so you have to really cut on each side of the shoes like this to straighten them out, to get them looking the way you want them. You really have to work on the shoes as they are. And let's bring them down. To, you know, get the way. And one of the reasons too is to make a cut on the sides to give it the emphasis of the shoe that you want. Just sort of like this. And let's go ahead and cut some more. And cut down. There you go. See where it brings more shape into the piece. And let's cut thinner. Let's thin our shoes out. Just sort of like this. Come in between them again to break even, and then come up just a little bit in the middle here, and then we get some more depth on those shoes by cutting this out. In other words, by working this right in here. Oops. See how that gives even more depth to the shoes, in other words, just like that. And let's go ahead and make a cut in here to separate the shoes from the pants. And the same thing here. Let's cut that to separate the shoes from the pants. So as you can see now, we have begun to create the figure more than ever, right, in that sense. Okay? All right. Now, let's work. First of all, I want to come down here, and I want to come up. I want to come up and over in this area right in here. All right. Now let me do something a little bit different. I'm sorry. I want to. I've been trying to whether to put a. I want to come down on each side, and I'm gonna come to that point on each side. And I want to make a little coat going around, and right almost to the bottom of where these hands are. And I want to cut right here and come back and open that up in there. Okay? And I want to cut here, and I want to open that up in there. All right. and then I want to cut a little bit here, and I want to come from this side and open that up there. I know there's not much room there, but I want to cut that and then come to the back where we've got the little coat that we can sort of follow that along, and we come across on the back side here, okay? At which we cut across there, we cut across here, because the coat is certainly supposed to be that way. All right, and we want to bring all this down back here, because this is going to be thinned out. I mean, you know, out in here. And we want to cut across here, because that's where the shirt is. In other words, if you see that, and like I said, we may have to cut a little bit deeper on each side on the coat. Just right here. See that? And then we come to the back side here, and that all has to be, you know, kind of brought down a little bit, where the coat would be. Okay? All right. Now we want to come in here where the pants come up, and we want to, and I'm going to do a big one there. I'm going to do a very deep cut in the crouch area, as you can see. Not too deep a cut, but deep enough. And let's bring this back just a little bit in here. And let's kind of come with that in there, as that is in there. All right. Now, what we basically are creating is just a figure here that is just sort of a, but as you can see, we have the shoes here. And always remember what I've tell you, you have three parts to the body when you're carving. You have the body, you have the shoes, and then you have the head. And that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go, you know, get into that, because, you know, I don't want to insult y'all thinking I'm, you know, you don't already know that. You do. So we bring these points down just a little bit so it would give these shoes a little bit better. And then I just want to cut things in there. So there we go. And let's bring that down a little bit better in there. Okay. So as we see our figure here, we ask ourselves, so what I want to do is come across here, and I just want to cut that like this, okay? So it doesn't have quite the, you know, the slope as it goes down through here. See? Where it's sort of just that way. And then we want to come up to the back here, and we want to sort of make a, that will give us, as we come through here that will give us the back side of the figure. And as you see, I'm making a lot of straight cuts, but you can do that with your figure and get a design of it. And that will be that we can produce a little bit of hair back here. And if you want to bring it higher, you can do that, in other words. And then kind of on that point there. Okay. Now, we've got this in sort of a looky-loo type situation here. And I want to go to these arms and I want to make these cuts right here and these cuts right here. And the same thing on this one. I want to make a cut up here and a cut especially in this area. All right. And on the hand, we'll give it a little bit more space right there and across here. And we'll work on the, it's a little bit long too, so we're going to bring that just a little, we'll work on that. All right. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to go to our face now. As we work on our face, and we want to go ahead and just clip this beard just a little bit. And we want to comb this nose and we want to clip it on both sides so we don't have that. All right. Now that's a little bit too long, so we're gonna come forward just a little bit and come down on that nose just a little bit more, where we have that look to it like that. Now, we have two ways that we can do this. I would like to go ahead and create from this point on, create a little beard here before we do that. And that's what I'm going to do. And as I go from the outside, I take wood off there. And the same thing that you do here. From the outside, we're going to do this. Okay? And we bring this down right here. In other words, we're going to do that right there. And then let's go ahead and just make a facial cut to separate the beard right in here on each side. Facial cut that simply goes up like that, and then you cut into the face and take that out right there. There we go. And let's make another cut on that nose. Take a little bit more off and chip the Bang, there we go. Alright, as you can see there, now we're creating a face. We come up underneath here and up underneath here a little bit. Alright. Alright, okay. I want to come back here and now work on the back here, and let's get that back cut down and ripped where we have a pants in the back, in other words, and that all has to be brought down also. And we can just kind of flip that a little bit and then make that cut and cut it on both sides. And then come here with our little cut that we make for the back of the pants. Okay, see, just like that. And we cut a little bit more. See how that goes? And then, since the pants are kind of baggy, we're just going to make them even more baggy. We're going to make some deep cuts into them to get the wrinkles and the things like that. Okay. All right, so as you see here, now when it comes to our eyes, we're just sort of make loops here. And where's my here it is, my V tool. That's kind of hard to see, it really is. And we take and just follow that Boy, this is where my eyes, ooh, wish I had better eyes. We come down the middle of it just like that and come down on both sides and then come up over the thing. It is really, really hard for me to see. It's getting to where my eyes do not see the way they should when it comes to small. But you see what I'm getting into right here. And cut that a little bit. And cut that a little bit. There we go. And we sort of got our eyes right here. Okay, Now let's go ahead and take the V tool, and let's go ahead and work our beard a little bit. Come up this way, break it off in there. There we go with a and in the back, let's go ahead and do this type of deal. Okay, round that off just a little bit up there, and then just sort of give it that, I want to kind of give it that, let me come from this side, I think that would be better, giving it sort of the look up here. Okay. And let me take and just give this a little bit more, a little bit more depth in here. All right, okay. And this is just sort of the